Hello, 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 YouTube people and other people, because this video will also be on Telegram. So, hello, Telegram folks. So, I'm gonna take a pause. I'm outside, so you'll probably hear some outside working noises. But in the meantime, let's take a pause and do some humming just to bring that vibration in. Thank you. Okay, so today's video is okay. I'm doing this video to bring some interpretation and some of my theories to the rituals that we see out there. So one of my friends posted a video that is basically calling out some of the symbols and some of the ritualistic magic that's right in front of our faces through media and entertainment, and even some political and religious. Okay, so we'll see these symbols and we'll see these actions being done, and I'm doing basically a breakdown of how these are all from the divine feminine original magic or guidelines, ways of being, things that are power tools, right? So the first one is the dragon symbol of the cosmos, which looks like you'll see Buddha doing it, you'll see Shakti and Shiva doing it. So you'll see a lot of the ancient, even pictures of Jesus, where it's this symbol. Okay, and so you'll see that through various spiritual leaders. Okay, so that one in itself, the dragon symbol of the cosmos. So the dragon is related to the great creator, the great feminine. The best way to describe it would be Tiamat. This also kind of relates to where we'll see in scriptures and in writings about the dragon coming to kind of like the dragon monster at the end of all things, coming to destroy the goodness of the earth, when in actuality the dragon was the original goodness of the earth, the original creation. And this is we can relate this back to mythical stories such as Merlin and the dragons. So dragons in the mythical story hold a ton of knowledge, magic, they protect treasure. Okay, so from what I've learned, and also messages that have been given to me, this is a direct, so that's kind of like the first energy of the feminine divine. And then we have the 666, the 666. So it's a triple. So this relates to the face of Janus. Okay, Janus goes back to Jupiter and Uranus. Okay, these were the original deities before they were masculinated. Okay, and so the 666, 3 times 6 is 18, which equals 9. So it still brings us back to the number 9, the feminine energy. And so this number has been demonized because it's a very powerful number. It's literally like the power of all creations, the number of all creation. It relates to the spiral and to our main numbers. Okay, and so this number has been used for a long time. Also, the 666 relates to the planet Venus, And as I mentioned before in the Popol Vuh, they talk about Venus being the main planet before the sun becomes the main planet. And the Popol Vuh, if you don't know, is like the Mayan Bible. Would be, it's very similar to the European and English Bible, but this one is specifically relating to Mayan deities and creation, but they're very, very similar. And the movement of Venus, the planet, will move in a 666 type cyclical movement, which also creates the flower of life. So these are all feminine, okay? All right, so we're moving on to the next one. The all-mocking tongue. Okay, in old artifacts, you will see the feminine doing that, sticking her tongue out. So it's basically the tongue hanging out. I'm not going to do it because I don't really want to hang my tongue out for you guys. But the Rolling Stone kind of like example is a great example. And also when you think about like the female body, and one of the symbols that we give to when a woman is getting her private parts worked on with the mouth, right? They'll use, we're getting to the V also. Oh yeah, the V. I left that out, but that's part of it. Yeah, the V. So a V is another one of the symbols that you'll see, but that's representing the vagina. So you'll often see kind of like the all mocking tongue with the V. So the V, that's it's literally a symbol of the creation of life, which is the vagina. Okay, that they named it because the other name is yoni, and there are other womb. Okay, but basically that's the portal. So with the all-mocking tongue, that actually relates back to the feminine divine as well, and so does the V. Okay, the upside down cross. So we're seeing the upside down cross is supposed to be anti-Christian, but it's actually an example of the life-giving parts of the female body. You have the entrance, and then the ovaries, and then you have the extension of the spine that goes up to the female mind. These are all feminine divine symbols that are being used. They're literally taking the feminine divine energy and using it against us while promoting masculine energy. Okay? All right, next one is the Triad Claw. So it looks like these two fingers are put together, and you'll see like the hand will just be sitting there. So it's supposed to be also making what they call the Masonic M. I don't know about that part of it, but if you go by the Triad Claw, that goes back to the dragon and the three energies, like the triple goddess, the three faces of Janus. Okay, then as above, so below. You'll also see that. So that's something that goes back to actually like Hermetic laws, but most of our teachings, Hermetic laws, spiritual, all come from a feminine divine, what was known as prophetesses or sibyls, you hear me talk about, and the order of the mind, as well as the order of the world, as above, so below. So what you're thinking, how it creates to your body, and also what we, as above, so below. So also what we mirror in our lives will show up, right? So it's and it relates to the womb and giving birth, okay? As above, so below. Supposedly, before humans were giving birth, we would create our new beings in the higher realms with our minds. We would have like a meditation, ritual conversation with the ancestors in the higher realms. the spirit being would basically volunteer to come down, which we're all pretty much aware of. If you're watching things like this, we understand the concept of volunteering to come here. But then it was as above, meaning what we have taken the time to create in the higher realms will then come to fruition into this world. These are teachings that we are not taught, but we see all this ritualistic stuff and we see it as satanic. Well, I'm not saying that it's not satanic. What happens is you take ritual and you take what works and what manipulates the best, and you just keep doing it. And you don't let everybody know, because if everybody knows how to use these elements and basically the laws of the universe, then everybody's thriving. Nobody will have particular power. And if you can create a way of looking at things that are specific in belief or in morality, and then you taint it a little bit by saying things like the Antichrist wears 666. When we go into all these other scientific and spiritual things, and you find out that 666 actually matches like carbon-based beings, which is what we're all supposed to be. We're all supposed to be, basically. If you look at people who are dark-skinned with super curly hair, those are 666s or 999s all over their bodies, right? All over their head. So it's supposed to be that the idea is that there's a tattoo created. I don't know, maybe, possibly. But what I've been seeing and learning is that all the quote unquote magic and rituals and knowledge was passed down, handed down, and taught by the great divine mothers, prophetesses, and sibyls. And then over the millennias, certain pieces were kept hidden, kept secret, and being used. This is, I mean, why would all the elites and these people use these things on a regular basis? And then the rest of us are like, oh, these things are evil. What's happening is it's being used for evil. But these things are originally were all of ours, and were used with knowledge and the idea of healthy communities, not to be used to have one group or one class hold all the knowledge. But that has been part of the deal for a long time, because even if you look at the scriptures that talk about when we were all created, it says that we were like them. We were like the gods. And that on purpose, we were put under a sleeping spell so that we wouldn't know who we were. That's my video for today. Just kind of breaking down those symbols, why they work, where the original energy is coming from. And so I mentioned this in other videos, like, we really do have the capability of doing the same thing. It's just that we aren't in a setting of school. We are, but some of these groups have been taught, specifically gone through like ritualistic training, and they're able to see that with the practice and continued practice how it works, because numbers, words, and energy are what helps to move things in our quote unquote 3D realm world. So we have the ability to take these same tools, because that's really what they are, and use them to undo and to uplift. That's what she says. That's what the planet says. Great Mother says. Okay, that's a short breakdown video. I will, maybe even today, be doing a video. We're moving on in the body, and I want to do more about the body, because everything that I'm talking about, whether it's directly to linking to our health and our bodies, or to magical things, the energetic things that are happening, media, all the influences, They are created because they know how it affects our bodies. So we're going a little bit more into vibrations and maybe even do a little practicing some stuff. But for now, I just wanted to do a little breakdown of these symbols and the energetic, magical force behind them, and where what's not being seen is how they all relate back to the divine feminine. All right, until next time, we'll end with a little bit of sound. I'm going to let you guys listen to the birds. So the birds, right? The butterflies, the dog, they all have a vibration as well. And their vibration is based solely through spirit. And the theory is that all the birds, all the creatures are always constantly singing praise. I did a video a couple years back, and you can look it up online, but you can look up crickets chirping slowed down. So crickets' lifespans are something like 24 hours or 36 hours or something like that. And so what they did is they slowed their chirping down to what would be like our lifespan. And it literally is like angels, what we would interpret as angels singing. It's just beautiful choir sounding music. And so to the divine, who can hear all vibrations, it must just be beautiful. So, just like your own voice. Okay, so a little bit of All right, until next time, take care of yourselves.